Welcome everybody to another watercolor tutorial video. Thank you for joining me today as we paint another winter watercolor landscape. So to get started, I've taped the borders of my sketchbook because I am painting it in my sketchbook, but you definitely can opt out of this step if you don't have any tape laying around. It's not necessary. And then you're going to cover your entire piece of paper with a layer of water using a mop brush. I've linked the mop brush that I use in the description should you wish to purchase it and add it to your collection. And then we're going to create a gradient of blue. So we want the center of the painting to be almost completely white and then fading into a light blue and darker blue, and then maybe even blue mixed with a little bit of black if you're feeling a little bit daring. Or if you don't have different colors of blue, you can use the same color and just apply more pigment and less water the closer that you get to the bottom and the top of the page. But the point is we want to keep the center white, as white as possible, and then get darker, fading into darker blues as you move towards the top and bottom of the piece of paper. I think I created about 3 or 4 layers until I was happy with the opacity. Once your backgrounds have completely dried, you're going to start the actual content of your painting here. So I decided to paint in a very light horizon line using blue that has been watered down with quite a bit of water. And then we're going to be painting these very rough looking tree shapes. So you start out at the top of your tree, making it as thin as possible, and then just kind of draw a squiggly line going downwards. If you're not comfortable with painting pine trees, lucky for you, a while ago I released a tutorial on 4 different techniques to paint pine trees. I love painting pine trees, and I would say pine trees are basically in 80% of my videos, so I thought it would be best to release a tutorial showing you 4 easy techniques to paint pine trees. So I've linked that in the description and in the top corner of this video if I remember to do so. But you're going to continue with these kind of squiggly tree shapes. With each layer you want to make the blue darker by adding more pigment and less water, or just using a darker shade of blue. That works as well. You can add a very thin layer of water just below the tree line or the horizon line, because you're going to want to paint shadows that are reflecting onto the water. So you want to make these shadows lighter than the trees themselves. So it's better to err on the side of caution and just paint it too light and make it darker if it is too light than painting it too dark to begin with. But we're doing this just for fun, so it's not a big deal. It doesn't have to be perfect. You also want to make sure that your reflections are not identical and completely detailed. Because they are reflections, you want them to be even more squiggly and rough, because it is, a reflection onto water. Once you're happy with your island horizon tree line thing, you're going to paint some trees in the bottom right, or the bottom left corner rather. This is mostly because I thought the painting looked a little bit bare by itself, so me being me, I love painting my pine trees, so I just added a bunch of pine trees to the bottom corner, and I made sure to alternate between shades of blue, so I used darker blues and lighter blues, kind of alternating until I was happy, and I kind of tapered the trees off to fade towards the right and then rise back up. I also sprinkled some watered down white acrylic paint. You can also use white watercolor paint. I just find that acrylic paint, it's more opaque, so you can see the stars a lot more clearly. I also painted a moon using white watercolor paint, and because I thought this painting still didn't look complete, I decided to add some branches coming from the top right corner. I am using mostly a size 1 Grombacher and a quadruple 0 size in Winsor & Newton to paint my tree branches. I've linked those brushes in the description as well. I really love these brushes for detail work, and by detail work I mean a lot of trees and tree branches. So if you would like to add those to your collection, the link is in the description, and if you use my link, I get a little bit of commission for your purchase, and it's no extra cost to you. Don't forget to paint the reflection of the tree branch using a faded blue color or really watered down blue, and you just want it to sort of start at the opposite corner. And we're all done. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like my video, and don't forget to check out some of my previous tutorials.